and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. As always, check out all things The Ticket at theticketfm.com, Facebook, X, YouTube, Amazon Prime, anywhere you get your podcast platforms, and or simply turn your radio dial at 93.7. Jake, there's so much to talk about. softball, baseball, Husker games, draft. Do we have a new running back? When's he announcing? Who's he choosing? What are our thoughts on all this? And I literally asked you. We got Mel Kiper going off like a lunatic. We've got people prank calling Shadur Sanders. We've got Shadur Sanders falling to the 5th round. Jake, where do you want to start?
Boy, it was an exciting week, and like you said, a lot to go through there. But I want to know, because I went to the Husker games. I don't know how it's going to come off to everybody. I had a lot of fun in these Husker games. I know there wasn't the crowd there that's usually there, but specifically to see former players like yourself out there, kind of the Pro Bowl jersey atmospheres for the players that weren't in participating in some of it. And then we obviously got some football as well. So I'd like to start to get your thoughts on the Husker games. Did you feel like this was a success?
Well, it depends on how you determine a success. If you're looking at the amount of people in the crowd, no, not even close. The smallest spring game crowd I've ever seen in my life was 33,000. And that was my first spring game. Okay. And outside of that, it was always like 50, 60, 80, 90, 70. It just so happened the first one I ever had was 33, and that was the smallest the year that I redshirted. The crowd on Saturday, I know they sold 7,000, 8,000 tickets or something like that. I don't know if there was that many people there or not. I'll tell you where there was a lot of people was the garage sale.
That's right.
That's where there was a lot of people. There was a line around the block. There was people gobbling stuff up. There was people filling up garbage cans. People took home truckloads of stuff. So if you gauge it by that, the answer is no. Is that the only gauge? No, that's not the only gauge. Was it entertaining? Was it fun? Did you get to see things you'd never seen before? Did you get to see things you never thought you'd see? Did you get to see Huskers from the past compete against current Huskers? Yes. Did you get to see current Huskers compete against each other? Yes. Did you get to see Huskers from the past compete against each other? Yes. Did you get to see some live actual football? Yes. Did you get to see Marcos Davia, TJ Lateef run some plays? Yes. If you gauge it on those parameters, then it was a success. I think as an overall whole, like I've mentioned, college football needs to fix itself sooner rather than later. I do think there's light at the end of the tunnel. My only question mark is, how big is the tunnel? How long is the tunnel? How long before we get to that light? I do think the light is there. I just don't know what the timetables for some of these things look like. All right. The revenue sharing, we don't have an answer there yet. There may be a possibility that we don't have to narrow down to 105. Is that a correct thing you've heard as well, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, they that's what seems the judge is kind of holding up the whole thing right now, is they don't want to hurt the current athletes that are on teams.
So, again, I see a light. I just don't know if it's bright, really bright, kind of bright, or way down there. But I think people are a little soured on college football as a whole right now. I think some teams not having spring games turn some people off. Now, I think most people understand the why. The post-spring portal, which we are now in, and players getting poached and things of that nature. I think that makes sense to most people. It doesn't mean they like it, and most people want to go to a spring game. They want to see actual football. They want to see the ones and twos out there for a certain amount of plays, and then the next group, and then the next group, and you want to see who's the young guy that's up and coming. And you got an opportunity to kind of see some of those things on Saturday. I think if you went, I haven't talked to many people who went who were like, I didn't enjoy it. Most people had a blast. Most people thought it was really good. And I don't blame the folks who weren't interested in going. I completely get it. There's a lot of frustration to go around with a lot of things. Coaches, GMs, ADs, they're frustrated right now with the way things are. I'm just going to throw this out there again. College Football Commissioner Adam Carriker. I'm just saying it. As much as I don't like Roger Goodell, I don't look at him from a business standpoint. I don't look at him from an NFL owner standpoint. I don't care how much money the NFL makes. I look at him from a former player standpoint. From a former player standpoint, I don't like him. If I took off the former player's hat and sunglasses and I just looked at him in a business standpoint, those NFL owners love him for a reason. There's one central figure who's in charge of everything, who's making the best decisions as best he can based on what's best for 32 teams. Not what's best for the NFC East or AFC North or NFC West, AFC South, which is what's happening in college football. So there's frustration abounding for a lot of people involved in the sport. But for those who went to the games, I thought it was fun. I thought there were some cool things you'd never see. Did you ever think you see John Cook roping? You got to see who the fastest Husker is, at least of the healthy ones right now, in a 40-yard dash, Ja'Cory Barney. You got to see skills challenges. You've got to see media members catching punts. Sean Callahan caught a punt. Mitch Sherman caught a punt. Damon Benning caught a punt. There was more. I did this in my gut reaction, too. I spaced off everyone that was there. So if I didn't mention your name, I apologize. I do know rules like called for Sam McEwen. Sam never misses anything, but he wasn't there Saturday, so because that would have been fun to see him catch a punt. Everybody who tried caught at least one. So those things are unique and cool things you may never see again. And props to those guys who went out there and did that, especially if that's not your forte. So I thought that was pretty cool. So because I have this history with long snapping. That history, if you don't know, is every coach I've ever freaking had in football tried to make me a long snapper, starting in middle school to high school to college to the Rams to the Redskins. I still don't know why. I suck and I'm not good and I'm awful. What about me looks like a long snapper? Anyways, so the long snapping competition, Kevin Galick won, which was good to see. That is not easy. So they had the pylon or whatever it was, about 15 yards back, 17, whatever it is. He nailed about every single one, right on time, quick, sharp, accurate. And as much as we struggled with snaps last year, that was something I was paying attention to. Watching coach, because Brett Maher is helping with the kickers this year, go against player, Brett Maher, Tristan Alvano, kicking challenge. I thought a lot of it was fun. Now, in my gut reaction afterwards, I said, we need football, though. The NFL is the most widely watched thing on television, not sport, thing that you can watch on TV. It's far and away ahead of everything else. A distant number 2 is college football. I've said this before. Number 3, there's a gap between 1 and 2, and then there's a gap between 2 and whatever 3 is. I haven't looked in a while. Whatever the third most watched thing on TV is, there's a gap. That means football is 1 and 2. The football season is the shortest season of any sports season there is. Baseball being the longest, if we're thinking of pro sports. Baseball is the longest. Basketball, football is the shortest. The college seasons are relatively similar. For me, I don't think you can get enough football. Now, if we have the UFL and all these spring football leagues, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I sit here and watch every single one of them. Much love to them. Hopefully they all do well, get chances in the NFL one day. But that's where the multi-sport guy in me comes in. Like, all right, now it's basketball, now it's this, now it's that. But when it comes to Nebraska football, and again, I understand why they didn't have a spring game. I think they did the best they could with the situation they had, which was no spring game, Husker games, and I thought they actually did a pretty good job. And most people who attended, and I understand why a lot of people didn't, most people who attended, I think had a really good time. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I hadn't seen Josh Bullocks in 20 years. First of all, I thought it was Daniel walking up to me. So shocker there.
Yeah, do they age the same as well? Or they still look the same?
I instantly knew it was a Bullock twin.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was Daniel. I mean, it's the freaking NFL draft. He's in San Francisco. I guess I didn't know that Josh lived in Omaha. And so Josh comes over to me and says, hi. And we're chatting. And man, and I was like, when's the last time you played at Nebraska? Because that was the last time I talked to him. He goes, 2005. It's 2025. It had been 20 years. That's pretty cool. So that all being said, I hope to God next year there is no post-spring portal window, which means we don't have to worry about poaching, which means we can have a spring game, which then opens doors to the potential of spring games versus other teams. Already explained why I've liked that idea ever since I was a kid. Deion Sanders, of all people, is the one that put it out there. And immediately people were like, oh, it's Deion, this is a terrible idea. And I'm like, wait, I don't think that sucks. I like that idea. And now it's actually caught a little bit of traction. Like I said it's okay, now the rest of the world thinks it's okay. Did you notice that, Jake? I'm just saying.
You could be the commissioner, maybe, yeah.
I'm just saying. It wasn't that Deion said it. It's that Adam Carriker said it, and it caught traction. That's what I'm going to tell myself. I love the idea of potential joint practices. Because now you create just more than a spring game. that fans are going to be attracted. I mean, fans are attracted to practice and spring practice, and it's the only football you get for months in between the end of one season, beginning another. But if I could go down, it depends on who you're going against. Like if it's Northern Iowa, that's cool. If it's Colorado, I still think that's a terrible idea, highly entertaining, but don't pick a rival or a conference opponent. Syracuse, I'm just going to pull one out of my keister. Syracuse, Georgia Tech, whoever. Maybe some fans are going to hate this. Maybe it's Alabama or Georgia one day. Maybe we really want to test our mettle. It's just the spring. What's it going to hurt? Make yourself better. I don't know. That becomes a lot more appealing to me. With the hand that we were dealt this year, I think they did as good as they can do. I hope the hand we're playing next year looks a whole lot different. What are your thoughts, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way of kind of looking at it. I still think it was, I was one that went and I brought my son there for the first time, his first Husker Games game. First time in Memorial Stadium. He's 4 years old. It gets a little loud in there, so I was waiting until a good opportunity. This was a good opportunity because I know it wouldn't be as loud. And so he enjoyed it. We met Herbie and Lil Red and all that. So I had a lot of fun doing that. So that might have maybe amplified my experience, I suppose. But I really liked it. I've been saying for years, the spring games intriguing, and there's nothing that replaces football. But you do have a walkout crowd at some point. And so I think intermingling some of these deals that they had there throughout normal spring game formats, if we never had anything getting in the way, would have been a great idea. And they did that with Bo Pelini a number of years back. Kenny Bill kicking field goals, offensive linemen catching punts, that sort of thing. And I thought that was entertaining. So I hope maybe they learn a little bit if they do go back to the spring game, that they learn a little bit of this, add that little entertainment element. The players, you could tell, probably had more fun in this game than at times maybe a third quarter of a normal spring game, so that sort of thing. But so I thought it was a great success. I have heard I didn't get to go to the garage sale, as you put it, but that's everybody that went feels like that was a once in a lifetime experience. So I thought it was just very cool, and like you were kind of saying, a good pivot from what they had. I think if they would have originally never said, "Hey, we're not having a spring game," but rather said, "Okay, the spring game is going to be a little bit different this year. I'm sorry, there's going to be a little less of the starters playing, but we're going to add some entertaining elements." If that would have been from the forefront, then I think you would have had a much bigger crowd. Because just talking to people, I know some people were like, "I didn't know there was the garage sale." Like, I didn't really, some people just, as much as they tried to get it out there, just didn't really know, because it was fractured about what you would do with your Husker games, because there's different events going on at the same time. So you got to make your own decision. And so we all just kind of decided where we wanted to go. I chose football.
That's a phenomenal point, because I've sat here and I've said it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Had they said, we're having because we had football. Had they said, we're going to have a spring game. These guys are going to play in the game. These guys are going to participate in skills. Oh, by the way, you can come get this once in a lifetime memorabilia. Oh, I guarantee you have a lot more people there. I think we know they were figuring it out as time went along. And in this day and age of football, unfortunately, I don't know how you can change that. It just is what it is. College football is trying to figure itself out right now. But had they had that all planned and marketed it from day one, because the first thing I heard about this was way back in February. Somebody goes, "We might have a spring game this year." And I was like, what? Like, think back to February when you first heard this. That thought wasn't ASA 7 or ASA 8. That was ASA 9 at the time. You never heard of it, never thought of such a thing. But had it been, hey, we're going to have a spring game, it's going to look a little bit different, but we're also going to add these elements. All of a sudden, we're like, okay. And then you find out over time, hey, the starters are doing this and these guys are doing this. I think you make a great point. How many people do you think were there?
Yeah, I'd probably say under 10,000, something like that. I do want to throw in too, and I know you were one of them, so you might hesitate. It was very cool for me to see the former players out there getting into the competition too. Just kind of, that's another element. You could do that every year, and I think people would be happy. Like, oh yeah, we haven't seen like you said, Josh Bullock was an All-American, has the record for interceptions at Nebraska. Why hasn't he been in Memorial Stadium for 20 years? This could be a yearly excuse to bring back guys, honor them, and be able to see some of our favorite Huskers for many of us as adults, growing up or whatever, and showing them to our kids that, this was. So I just think that was a very cool element as well.
That's a great point. Maybe the spring game is back next year, and maybe they can add some of these elements to it. To be clear, I don't know the last time Josh was in Memorial Stadium. I hadn't seen him in 20 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So just to be clear on that. But no, that's something that would be definitely pretty cool. It was interesting because with the bench press and with the speed and with some of the other competitions they had, and to me, again, I was looking at the long snapper, I was looking at the field goal kicking competition. Special teams is what I was actually kind of the most intrigued in. Obviously, Dylan hits the 40, 50-yard pass through the basketball hoop, and that catches a bunch of traction. A lot of those things were pretty cool. I don't know. For me, I was kind of hoping they'd grab me to do the 225 bench press. Like, I was staring right at Rule, trying to make eye contact. Like, I really was.
Yeah.
I wasn't just going to walk up there and dub myself a guy to do it, but I was like, but it didn't work out. So,
well, to be fair, he was giving away $5,000 a rep, so maybe he didn't want you up there.
The most I've ever done, I did 41 at the NFL Vet Combine. I did 33 when I came out at the regular combine. I was pissed because my goal was 40, and I was mad at the guy who traded me, honestly. I'm not touching 40. There's also a way to train for endurance versus pure strength. Like, I've been training to lose weight.
Yeah.
The nice thing about that is you're going to do a lot of reps. So there would have been a certain amount of endurance in there that might have helped me. Like, I know I could have gotten 20. The goal is my number closer to 30 or 20, which, by the way, I would have been furious at when I was playing. 20? Like, I was mad at 33. I thought 35 was going to be my bottom of the barrel. And again, later on, a few years later, I got 41. I think I could have gotten somewhere between 20 and 30. I don't know if it had been closer to 30. It probably would have been closer to 20, maybe 25. And if I had time to train for it, it could be interesting, though.
I said not to sell yourself short, too, because I always remember the stat. That 41 would have been the most at the combine that year, right?
It would have.
You got to mention that every time because that always blows my mind. Well, maybe not you. Maybe it comes off a certain way. But whenever I hear that, it's just like, man. And at that point, I mean, we saw it kind of with Barrett Ruud, too. It was just like a veterans minimum type of deal was kind of hurting a lot of the veterans for getting opportunities because that's what I felt. I was like, man, if he's doing 41, that would raise his draft stock at the combine.
Yeah, it's kind of how it works out, though. And the NFL evolves over time, too. They don't even do the NFL Vet Combine anymore. So, let's see here. We've got a couple of clips. We've got some updates to do. Any other final thoughts on the Husker games from your end as a guy who attended? Well, let me ask you this. What did your son think?
Well, he liked meeting Little Red and Herbie. Was somewhat entertained, and then after a while, I did, show him YouTube on his phone. So he's 4 years old. I'm still working on his Husker fandom a little.
His attention span isn't longer than that.
Yeah.
I completely understand, and honestly, I completely relate, my friend. All right, when we come back, we got some clips. Mel Kiper basically just trashes the entire NFL and their evaluation process of quarterbacks. All right, Shadur Sanders gets prank called during the draft. And we've got a clip of Shadur Sanders at the NFL Combine. And when I saw this again, I was like, ooh, something like that isn't going to land well on NFL GM's ears. So something that maybe it didn't. Maybe it did. Maybe it did not hurt his draft stock. Mel Kiper losing his ever-loving mind. And then Shadur getting prank called, which is pretty jacked up in the middle of the draft. And now they've issued an apology, the Falcons defensive coordinator's son and all that. Jax Albright, right? Is that correct? But still, and now there's other people saying that they might have been prank called as well. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, there was a few other guys that got prank called. I think the Colts tight end, the new tight end there got prank called. There was another one too.
Tyler Warren. Yeah, Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's what are you thinking, my man? What are you thinking? Anyways, when we come back, lots to chat about. Don't go anywhere.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Fight fans, May 3rd, Dynasty Combat Sports hosts the first bare-knuckle boxing bout ever at Pinnacle Bank Arena, pitting Lincoln's Tower Robinson against McCook's Thomas Thatcher. Additionally, MMA bouts will see champion Nate Morrow battle Nebraska City's Brett Minner. University of Nebraska wrestler Tyler Berger makes his pro MMA debut, and Hunter Green takes on Husham Zadow for the amateur featherweight title. Also, professionals Brady Minner, Sean Lindgren, Justin Weaver, and the debut of another Nebraska wrestler, Bubba Wilson. 16 fights are scheduled Saturday, May 3rd at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Fight cards subject to change. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the Pinnacle Bank Arena box office.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Jake, play that first clip of Shedeur at the NFL Combine. I think it's like 20, 30 seconds.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
So I heard that at the time, and I kind of forgotten about it, to be honest with you. Saw it again after, I think it was after round 3. So after day 2. If you don't want to change the culture and the franchise, don't draft me. Jake, I think people listened. Careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And what you hear is that he didn't interview well, he threw the O-line under the bus, he threw the wide receivers under the bus. That's what you hear. I was not in those exact draft meeting rooms. This is the type of stuff that I was concerned about way back in September all the way through. Now, I honestly thought somebody would still pop him in the first round because all you got to do is get one team to fall in love with you. And I definitely thought he'd go somewhere in the top 3 rounds. And I wasn't in those meeting rooms. If he said that to a lot of teams, in my mind, he would have kept dropping. I honestly said for most of the offseason, I'd take him in round 2. But I wasn't privy to stuff like that. I hear stuff like that, and I'm like, round 3. Oh, you don't like this? Oh, round 4. That's how I would operate. Now he's in a Cleveland quarterback's room where he is the lowest drafted guy in the entire room. Deshaun Watson, first-round draft pick. Joe Flacco, first-round draft pick. Kenny Pickett, first-round draft pick. Dylan Gabriel, third-round draft pick. Here comes Shedeur as the 5th-round pick. This is a guy who is now, he's used to being the guy on every team he's ever been on. I'm just going to be blunt. He's the least important guy in that room right now. The value that he brings at this moment, and not everything is based on where you're drafted. I guarantee how they see it. Every team has about 2 quarterbacks on their active roster, and most teams have 1 practice squad quarterback. They see it as, all right, Deshaun's going to be the starter unless something changes drastically there. Now, maybe Flacco, he's getting a little bit older. Perfect NFL backup, but maybe he's getting older. Maybe they let him go. Here's how I guarantee they're looking at it. Deshaun's the starter. We're going to choose between Kenny and Joe as the top backup and Dylan and Shedeur as number 3, and then whoever's left can duke it out for 2 and 3. So he's going to have to beat out at least Dylan Gabriel just to have a chance for the practice squad. And then if he wants to make the active roster, he's going to have to beat out whoever wins the battle between Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. This is a new situation for Shedeur. Now, to be clear, this may be the best thing to ever happen to him. It depends on how he responds. Is it a situation where, and he doesn't seem to have responded this way, to be clear. Everything that I see, Dion, I think, has handled it worse than Shedeur, which is a dad. You're allowed to. I'd probably do the same thing. But to me, I feel like he's kind of like, all right, this is it. Let's do this. At least the limited things I've seen. But I think things like legendary, even while the draft is going on, I guarantee scouts are like, look at this legendary thing. I wonder if he dropped rounds during the draft, possibly. Maybe that sounds crazy. Maybe not. But he's in a situation where he's going to have to beat out other people. He's going to have to clearly outplay them because they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the guy they drafted higher. They're also going to be paying more. By the way, Shedeur spent more money on his draft room than he's going to make in his first year of a rookie contract. So think about that. I don't think that's ever happened in the NFL draft before. Any quick thoughts before we go on to the prank call?
Well, there's plenty that's never happened. I mean, that was a wild ride. That was a 30-30 that we were kind of 30 for 30 that we were watching unfold in front of us. Just crazy to see that. Keep in mind, Deshaun Watson might be out most of this upcoming season, if not the entire season.
Oh, for what? What happened?
So he's got a ruptured Achilles tendon, a re-ruptured Achilles tendon. So we'll kind of see if that factors in. But
that changes everything, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You can tell I'm not a Browns expert or a Deshaun Watson expert. I haven't gotten a massage in a long time. That's a bad joke, Jake. How dare you? You look at Kenny, you look at Joe, you look at Dylan, you look at Shedeur. Now the entire landscape changes because now you're fighting everybody to be the... Because if Deshaun's healthy with what they're paying him, unless they get rid of him, he's the starter. And you're fighting for third or second. Now it's wide open to anybody. You got a former Super Bowl winning quarterback, Joe Flacco. You got a first-round pick in Kenny Pickett. You've got a guy who was drafted higher than you in the same draft, in Dylan Gabriel. And here you are, first-round talent with a whole bunch of question marks. Now it's wide open to anybody. The starting job, the 2, the 3. And its odds of just being on the team in general just went up a little bit too. All right. Mel Kiper. I've always been fine with Mel Kiper. It's always been interesting to me. I'm like, this guy just basically shows up for a couple months out of the year. Like, he'll show up every once in a while and give a draft update throughout the season because it's football season, but he really doesn't show up until right around the Senior Bowl, which is the end of January. And then you got about 2 months until the draft, and then he really starts to reoccurringly be on TV. And he, as far as I know, he just works for ESPN. And I'm like, man, this dude, like, this is not an easy job to evaluate all these guys, to be clear. Like, it's a year-round job. But I'm like, he just kind of appears for 2 months out of the year, and he's done this for years. ESPN must be happy with him. They chose him over Todd McShay. I thought Todd McShay did a great job when Todd McShay was doing this with Kiper. I personally preferred Todd McShay, if you want my honest opinion. I felt like he was a little bit more open-minded. I've always felt like McShay is and you could just say he's more definitive. I could also say he's more closed-minded. When you make comments, just go ahead and roll that clip of him real quick.
The NFL has been clueless for 50 years when it comes to evaluating quarterback. Clueless. No idea what they're doing in terms of evaluating quarterback. That's proof. There's proof of that.
How many
times they say we know exactly what we're talking about with quarterback? They don't.
It's a little, that's a strong opinion. That's a strong take. So he gave the Cleveland Browns an A+ for his draft grade for them. I guess in his mind, when you get his number one player on the board was Shadur Sanders. His number 5 player was Shadur Sanders. He had him as the number 1 quarterback, and he had him going number 1 in his mock drafts, to be clear. Your projected number 1 player goes fifth round. I think he was as much mad about looking bad, because that's a disconnect in a way that I've never seen. I remember when Brady Quinn in my draft dropped to 22. That was crazy. Aaron Rodgers drops to 24. Like, what? Shadur Sanders dropped days. That's crazy. I've never seen anything like this before. Well, Mel Kiper, right out the gate, they're talking about Cam Ward. He's already talking about Shadur Sanders while Ward's walking to the stage. I think Mel Kiper got a little bit, he's a human being, I get it, a little bit overly defensive of, this is making me look worse and worse. So then it's his way, I don't want to say overcompensating, but I'm going to be honest, overcompensating to the point where it looks like he's on the Sanders payroll to just blanket statement, and these guys for 50 years, everybody in this league has no idea what they're doing. Like, that's, wow, that's a really strong statement. So just keep in mind, and nobody bats 1,000. That's why I openly say, if I'm wrong, text in, let me know. If there's something I'm missing, let us know. Jake and I do the best we can to be as correct as we can as often as possible. We take pride in that, but nobody bats 1,000. But if you're going to make a statement like these guys have been clueless for 50 years, here's a Mel Kiper quote, and I quote, "If Jimmy Clausen is not a successful starting quarterback in the NFL, I'm done. That's it. I'm out." End quote. Quick thoughts on that one, Jake? There's more.
I fell into the Jimmy Clausen hype as well. I loved Jimmy Clausen back in the day.
But that's sure a strong statement.
Yeah.
All right. He had, the year that Patrick Mahomes came out, he had Mitch Trubisky, the number 1 overall quarterback, Deshaun Kaiser, number 2, Deshaun Watson, number 3, Luke Falk, number 4. Do you know where Luke Falk played?
Washington State.
That's really impressive. I did not know that. I'm looking at the graphics, so now I do. Patrick Mahomes, number 5. So you have Patrick Mahomes 4 slots lower than Mitch Trubisky. And the NFL doesn't have any idea what they're doing, and they haven't for 50 years. All right. Mel Kiper's 3-day meltdown. This was a tweet on X. Is as bizarre and embarrassing as Shadur Sanders' custom draft room. In 2010, Kiper promised to retire if Jimmy Clausen wasn't a successful quarterback in 8 years. In 2007, Kiper said Jamarcus Russell would be elite and compared him to Elway. Kiper has been high on Manziel, Achilles Smith, Andre Ware. Kiper's meltdown over Sanders should spark conspiracy theories, not Sanders fall down the draft board. Kiper is a bad pollster. People keep believing. Fraud. Now, that was Jason Whitlock on X. Mostly, he pointed out more quarterbacks that I had even forgotten about, beyond the conspiracy theories here, that I had even forgotten about that didn't work out. Again, if Kiper just goes out and said, I completely disagree, I don't understand what's going on, this blows my mind, no problem. But they have no clue what they're doing, and they haven't had for 50 years. This is the type of response you're going to get. People are going to point out your flaws and mistakes, and as well they should. All right, Chris Marler on X. Mel Kiper just said that from 1994 to 2024, NFL quarterbacks drafted in the 5th round, this pertains to Shedeur, obviously, are 0-43 at becoming starters in the NFL. Here's my question to you, Jake. And the text line. Ladies and gentlemen on the text line. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
Well, Shadur Sanders. How do I want to phrase this? Because he could start 1 or 2 games. I don't want to say anybody could do that. But if you're an NFL-type quarterback at all, anybody could start sporadically. Will he play more than 5 years? And will he be a starting quarterback for at least 3 years in the NFL? Is that a fair barometer for a 5th-round pick? If we're talking first-rounder, it's 10 years and at least 7 years as a starter. But 5th-rounder, does he play for at least 5 years and start for at least 3 years? What do you? Let me know in the text into that number. Jake, what's your initial response to that question?
Well, there are some things. I mean, it's so fascinating because he's not your standard 5th-round quarterback. I think, much like you said, this could be the best thing that happens to him. I think why teams didn't want to touch him is he's going to come in, bring his entourage, bully around the organization, have Dion commenting every time they lose, every time a quarterback ahead of him makes a mistake, all that sort of stuff. And so I think this can be the best thing that happens to him is now realize not everything's going to be given to you. You're not going to get your number retired right out of the gate. I mean, he's just had a whole career of being, not that he's not good and hasn't earned it, but just kind of getting adored for what he's been able to do. So this kind of puts him back in his place. But, it is the one thing, too, is the other thing is Mel Kiper, he might be wrong with that outburst. But he's right if you said instead of the NFL, you put the Cleveland Browns in there because they have been wrong about quarterback over and over and over and over again. I love the jersey with all the names on the back of it. Now has probably like 40 names on it. And then they drafted a few more quarterbacks here. So it's been an uphill battle working with the Browns. It's a tough call. I think it's all about mindset. I think the talent's there. Is he going to be able to bounce back from this and fight for it? I'll be in his corner. I'll say that he does, but I wouldn't bet the house on it. We'll put it that way.
It's interesting. I actually really liked the Browns when I was a kid. Before Belichick was their coach, and that staff had like Saban and Ferentz and all those guys on it. And then the Browns ended up going to become the Baltimore Ravens, and then Belichick was the Jets coach for like a day before he went to the Patriots and all that stuff. By the way, I don't have it on the docket to talk about today, but that Belichick interview and his girlfriend just interjecting every 2 seconds is something else. That's all I got on it today. It's just something else, man. That is, live your life, Bill. Live your life, my man. Win games at North Carolina and live your life. That was very intriguing to me. But I was a fan of them. I love anything with like the tomahawk chops or like the Braves, Florida State. I love that. And anything where there's barking involved. Like I love Braun Breaker, the WWE right now. Titus O'Neil. hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. I used to love that. He'd put the hands above his head. A lot of people probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But the dog pound in Cleveland, which is still there, I don't think it's been the same, though. But when I was younger and Cleveland was like in AFC championship games, playing the Broncos a lot, and the dog pound, that was fun. But you're right. When it comes to Kiper, had he said the Cleveland Browns, but he didn't. And you know why he couldn't? Because they're the only team that took his quarterback. So you can't bash the only team that actually took your quarterback. I think the Browns taking him might actually hurt Kiper's argument now that you kind of made that statement. All right, so I saved this stat. I saved this. Mitch Trubisky is the only player in NFL history that has 1,000 completions and never thrown a pick six. Does that validate Mel Kiper?
Not quite.
I just thought it was an interesting stat.
That is an interesting stat.
And I'm always willing to look at the entire picture, not just the corner I want to. All right, New Saints quarterback Tyler. Oh, how do you say his last name?
Shuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is older than Brock Purdy, who's in his 5th year in the league, going into his 5th year. Is that correct? All right. He was a 2nd-round pick quarterback out of Louisville. I believe the 4th quarterback taken was Justin Herbert's backup at Oregon. Herbert's like year 5 or something in the league. Was in the same high school class as Trevor Lawrence. When I say kids are in college too long, I love college football, but let's kick them out the cradle. Let's go.
He was actually Chancellor Brewington's high school quarterback.
Was he?
If you can kind of think of it that way.
Wow.
Yeah, Chancellor hasn't played for a few years here.
You know what's interesting is I actually made a note to try to talk about him during the season, and I honestly completely forgot. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to talk about that guy, and I forgot when he got drafted because I was like, I wonder if this guy – because I did. I mentioned one time, don't give me credit for it because I didn't bring it up again, but I mentioned I might take Jackson Dart months ago over Shedeur. And again, I never revisited it, so nobody remembers it but me, so don't give me credit for it. But I was going to bring up Tyler Shaw, and then I never dove more into it because I'm like, what if he went ahead of Shedeur? And then I never dove more into it. So no credit there for me. But that's okay. I just thought I had the graphic. I'd point it out. As we know, Ty Robinson, 4th-round pick, Eagles. Cam Jurgens was on stage doing a live Q&A with fans when he found out the news. Immediately texted Ty Robinson while he was on stage. So excited. All right. You got Thomas Fidone. Where'd he end up going? I apologize. Because I know Nash signed with the Ravens. Man, they got a steal right there. John Bullock signed an unrestricted free agent deal as well. Fidone went in the 7th round. I honestly was a little surprised he didn't go just a little bit higher, as much as NFL scouts seem to really like him. Have you found which team
he went to the Giants.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right.
Which, by the way, I have a little stat for that, too. He's the first Husker tight end drafted since Tracy Wistrom, 2002. But a 23-year streak.
Wow. Mike McNeil was all Big 12. He wasn't drafted?
No.
Interesting. All right.
Now, there's been some good tight ends, like, the Ethan Carters of the world, Austin Allens, but nobody's been drafted.
All right, this is per Michael Severe on X. 8 of the last 9 NFL drafts have ended with the Nebraska Cornhuskers having 2 or fewer selections. He goes, that's got to change. Only 13 picks since 2017. For context, Nebraska had 38 picks from 1993 to 1998. All right. Amy Just, the NFL Network broadcast after Burke's Xavier Watts was drafted by the Falcons. Was this the Joel Klatt thing? I can't remember. And I quote, I can't talk about Xavier Watts without thinking about the downfall of Nebraska football. This was Joel Klatt, wasn't it? All right, I know that sounds crazy, but he grows up in Omaha and he winds up at Notre Dame and not at Nebraska. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Joel Klatt. And I remember saving that because I was like, oh, just an unnecessary shot from a Colorado guy right there. You know, remember how much he loved Frost? Everybody did when he got here, but he went like over the top, you know. He listed like every coach that Frost had ever coached with, played for, and how it was all going to work out. And obviously everyone was kind of all in on the Frost thing at that point in time. Here we are years later. He's kind of taken the reverse approach when it comes to Nebraska. Just bam, out of nowhere. Hey, much love for Xavier Watts. He was the Sugar Bowl defensive MVP against Georgia when Notre Dame took down Georgia. He had a great game on that day. I thought this was interesting. Jim in Minnesota, Nebraska wanted to play Watts at safety. He wanted to play wide receiver, and Notre Dame recruited him really well. And lo and behold, he switched to safety halfway through his 2nd year. Now, do you think that was Notre Dame's plan all along, or it just kind of worked out that way, maybe, Jake?
Well, I mean, I think it probably just kind of worked out that way. because if you're going somewhere as an athlete, it's not working at first at that position. They found a new spot for me. He's one of the best safeties in the nation. So I don't know, but maybe Nebraska saw something in him, though I heard they didn't recruit him as hard as maybe should have.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players who received prank calls during the draft. And one of them received 5 prank calls. Obviously, everyone knows Shadur Sanders was prank called. That's crazy, dude. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Fight fans, May 3rd, Dynasty Combat Sports hosts the first bare-knuckle boxing bout ever at Pinnacle Bank Arena, pitting Lincoln's Tower Robinson against McCook's Thomas Thatcher. Additionally, MMA bouts will see champion Nate Morrow battle Nebraska City's Brett Minner. University of Nebraska wrestler Tyler Berger makes his pro MMA debut, and Hunter Green takes on Husham Zadow for the amateur featherweight title. Also, professionals Brady Minner, Sean Lindgren, Justin Weaver, and the debut of another Nebraska wrestler, Bubba Wilson. 16 fights are scheduled Saturday, May 3rd at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Fight cards subject to change. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the Pinnacle Bank Arena box office. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Picture this. You're in the doghouse and flowers just won't cut it this time. Enter jewelry, the ultimate peace offering. It's a gesture that speaks volumes, showing her you're willing to go the extra mile to make things right. So next time you're in the doghouse, remember, diamonds are a guy's best friend too. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 of The Ticket. As always, check out all things The Ticket at theticketfm.com. All right. The prank call heard around the world. You ready, Jake?
I'm
got that
ready.
clip? Go ahead.
Hey, is this Shedeur? This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. We're waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to them.
Hey, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that. Hey, is this Shedeur?
So, whether you're a Shedeur fan, whether you're not, that's jacked up. I remember my draft day, like when guys get to do, there's a reason guys break down in tears. Now, I'll keep his name out of it. There was one guy who was drafted while he was in the bathroom. You remember that, Jake? Did you see that?
I did see that.
We'll keep his name out of it. But other than random things like that happening, I don't think that's ever happened in the NFL draft. My point is simply this. That's messed up. There's a reason guys shed tears. They work their entire life for this. I got a whole lot stronger words I could use on this. What I'm going to say is he's issued an apology. His dad issued an apology, who's the defensive coordinator. All right, Jeff Albright, is that right?
Yeah, that's the defensive coordinator.
And Jax Albright is his son.
Yep.
They've issued apology. I've got it. I can read it. It's long and lengthy and sounds sincere. Who knows? It's jacked up. I have a lot more to add, but I'm just going to keep it quick and short. It actually kind of makes me mad when somebody works their entire life, they busted their butt. And even if you like Shedeur, you don't. You don't mess with certain moments in people's lives, and that's a moment that I think it was pretty uncool. And he's like, we're going to take you with our, he didn't say it like that, but we're going to take you with our next pick. So hilarious. You got to wait longer. I don't think it's cool at all. Doesn't seem to be any punishments that are really going to happen. I know they're like reaching out to the Sanders family and chatting with them. You got any quick thoughts on that, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Bart Simpson. I always love prank calls, but yeah, this is not necessarily a good spot for it. And it's crazy. I didn't know we would find out so quickly who was behind it, and it sounds like the son just, that Jeff, the defensive coordinator, left his tablet open, and his son got his number off of that. So man, talk about an embarrassment for your family for Jackson. He's a young man. Hopefully he learns this from it too. But that's putting your dad's name, family, reputation all on the line there.
The fact that we have the clip and I've seen the video means some moron in that group put it out and thought it would be all right and thought it was funny and thought there wouldn't be consequences or just didn't think at all. Let's be honest. All right. Bills draft pick Chase Lunt received 5 different prank calls throughout the draft before finally getting drafted by Buffalo. 5 prank calls. He was drafted in the 6th round. All right, Shadur Sanders, Tyler Warren, Kyle McCord, Chase Lunt, an anonymous undrafted free agent, an anonymous player who was told they were being traded after the draft, all received prank calls as well. All right, let me thumb through this. Now, and again, I'm looking at the statement. I was going to read the statement. I'm not going to read the statement. It's an apology. All right. Again, Jack Albright, the son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Albright, apologizes. And again, who knows how sincere it is or is not. Let's see what I got next here. I put this out on X last night. Like the NBA playoffs are going on right now. We're going to eventually get to the NBA playoffs in the NBA. And yes, I will be interested at that point. I have a harder time watching the NBA than I ever have for multiple reasons. But I'm not alone, apparently. The average viewers for round 1 of the NFL draft, average 13.6 million. Peak average viewers for the 2024 NBA Finals was 12.2 million. So something that isn't even the actual sport itself, the draft, beat your championship series. And again, when the time comes, we will turn to the NBA and be like, this is interesting. Let's chat about it. Okay, I know the Lakers are down 3-1 right now as an example, because of course the Lakers are always talked about. For me, if I'm the NBA, and it's kind of like if I'm the college football, I'm looking at the NBA being like, we don't want that to happen to us. And if I'm the NBA, I'm looking in the mirror saying, we got to literally reflect on things we're doing and be honest with a little bit of self-evaluation here. Now, here's a feel-good story. I really like this, actually, via Peter Burns on Twitter. All right, he got invited to the LSU football camp as a 14-year-old. Family was on vacation in Colorado. They ended they ended the trip a day early. So this is the 4th overall pick, Will Campbell out of LSU, could attend. He ends up getting worked to the point where he's in tears. Vowed he'd never feel like that again. Busted his butt, worked hard. 7 years later, he's the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft. Like, that's how you respond to adversity. And I do think I've liked Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, the 2 Ohio State running backs. Quinshon transferred from LSU. A lot of people considered him the top back in the SEC. But I thought this was cool. Without ego, running backs Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins agreed to share the load last year for Ohio State. Henderson rushed for 1,016 yards, Judkins 1,060 yards. Obviously, Ohio State won the national title. They were both, amongst some of the top players drafted. I believe they were both 2nd-round picks, if that's correct, in the NFL draft. Now, last thing, then we're going to head to break. Because, again, I always like to look at the whole picture. I'm going to read this. Jake, you give me your quick response, then we'll go to break. Brian Howell, who covers Colorado football. Having covered Shadur Sanders for 2 years, I found the hits on his character mind-boggling. The Shadur I got to know is a leader, well-liked by his teammates, tough as nails, engaging with media after wins and losses, supremely confident but shows humility at times, not afraid to take on a challenge, one that will work on his game more than anyone on the team. I don't know how good he's going to be in the NFL, but I'd be surprised if he's not a success. And if he slips in the draft, this was before the draft, some team is going to get a steal. All right, there's always 2 sides to every story, 2 sides to every coin. What's your response to that before we head to break, Jake?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one that you hear. That's not what we typically have heard. We've heard all these interviews, debauchery and all that stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not, again, if he covered him, if that's the experience he had, I'm not going to say that he's making it up, but something happened here. And it's hard to put a finger on it other than this guy and what we've heard again from reports felt like he was above teams, certain teams he didn't want to be on. So he's kind of purposely, moving those, messing up those interviews. And so, I mean, it's it's hard to buy. It's just hard to buy from a guy that has just the watch thing and all that sort of stuff. So I don't. If you develop a personal relationship with him and all that, then I'm sure he can be a great guy. But he does not come off as the best team player so far. Going into this. So at least there's two sides to this. Also, I really wanted to get your quick thoughts too. Remember, all this whole weekend started with the report that Matt Rule said he would take Shedeur third. Does that change your opinions on Matt Rule and his prospects on all this?
So it's funny because I wrote that down and I crossed it out to talk about it. I was just going to, because I already talked about it, I was just going to give Matt the benefit of the doubt. Okay. When I read that and we talked about it, I just didn't believe it. I think there's a certain amount of diplomacy that was employed there. I think there's a certain amount of, hey, maybe he goes high. Remember, this guy was projected to be a top 5 pick for a long time. Talking about Shadur Sanders. And Shedeur hasn't always acted the classiest way towards Nebraska, but Rule has always responded with high character, I've always felt. So I, more than anything, felt like he was following suit. Yes. And I think you said it, or we both said it. Hey, maybe this is, you're a great fit for college football. Maybe not so much the NFL. That could all be true. It could all not be true. What I will say is I felt like it was more of a diplomatic type statement, trying to show respect to somebody who, frankly, has showed Nebraska little to no respect, from flashing the watch to they're praying at midfield in Boulder, and he goes out and basically tries to pick a fight, then says Matt Rule said all this stuff about Deion, which he did not, then leaves the field here in Lincoln 2 minutes early. And I feel like Matt's like, this is just my feeling. Hey, we're going to take the high road. We're going to conduct ourselves with character. And I believe that's why he said what he said more than anything. Because I don't have the quote, but he basically said unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, something like that, he would take him third overall. Again, when you make an absolute statement like that, like, that's why I'm kind of like, Kiper, you look like a fool. Okay, leave some room for error here. Like, things happen in this world, things you don't see coming. When you make an absolute statement like that, you don't leave a lot of wiggle room. And I'm one for making absolute statements. Trust me, I have no problem with that. But if there's room for doubt, leave room for doubt in your statement. That's all I'm saying. What say you real quick? I will say this, one final thought. Because Mel Kiper's done this for a long time, highly successful. He gave the Bengals, Zach Taylor's team, a C- grade as their overall draft grade. I saw another draft analyst gave him a B+. Man, how can you disagree so vastly? Anyways, what do you got, Jake? Then we'll head to break.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, Nebraska's in a good position now, but it kind of made me kind of reevaluate Matt Rule's quarterbacks that he's had throughout his career. And, he's had some successes, obviously getting a guy from Temple and PJ Walker to the NFL, and had some pretty good success with Baylor quarterbacks as well. But, we'll put this in the Jeff Sims category of not the best comments.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
John Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Fight fans, May 3rd, Dynasty Combat Sports hosts the first bare-knuckle boxing bout ever at Pinnacle Bank Arena, pitting Lincoln's Tower Robinson against McCook's Thomas Thatcher. Additionally, MMA bouts will see champion Nate Morrow battle Nebraska City's Brett Minner. University of Nebraska wrestler Tyler Berger makes his pro MMA debut, and Hunter Green takes on Husham Zadow for the amateur featherweight title. Also, professionals Brady Minner, Sean Lindgren, Justin Weaver, and the debut of another Nebraska wrestler, Bubba Wilson. 16 fights are scheduled Saturday, May 3rd at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Fight cards subject to change. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the Pinnacle Bank Arena box office.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms mainly this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny and windy, the high around 87. Tonight, decreasing clouds, an overnight low near 46. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a light breeze, an afternoon high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Pucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hour 2, numero dos of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, your daily friendly reminder. If you're interested and so inclined, you can check out, learn more, and or register for the inaugural, Carriker Chronicles football camp featuring Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch, Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer Amon Green, Outland Trophy winner Zach Weger, 25-year college football coaching experience, and Husker great Kenny Wilhite, and yours truly as well. The camp will take place here in Lincoln, LYF, Lincoln Youth Football Fields, July 9th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Autographs included, T-shirts included, boys and girls, kindergarten through 8th grade. All right, again, if you want to learn more and or register, simply go to CarrikerChronicles.com. Real quick, Jake, is there anything off the text line? I asked a question about Shedeur, I believe. Did we get any responses to that or anything else we've talked about so far?
Yeah, there's a few thoughts here on Shedeur, so I can grab those off the text line. Shedeur, this is from Drumstick. Drumstick says, Shedeur is slower than heck, throws duck passes, and his ego is bigger than the pyramids. He's not starting more than 5 games in the NFL.
All right. I can tell you're a fan. Appreciate the response.
Cubsker says, I've said it since the college season was done. Sanders and Hunter won't make it 3 years in the league. Hunter could play longer if he picks a side of the ball to focus on.
Oh, so he's saying he's going to play both sides, wear himself out, get hurt, or something's not going to go right. But if he picks one side, he thinks he'll go longer. Is that what he's saying?
That's all I got is the words he said. But yeah, that's what I would kind of believe.
I've said it before, but quickly, I would emphasize Hunter at wide receiver first. Kick returner, punt returner. He didn't do that at Colorado. But I would do that because he can. He's clearly got the endurance. He's clearly an explosive playmaking, rare, special athlete. And I would limit what he does on defense. I would say, my friend, we sold the house, the farm, and the state of Florida to move up and get you. Be a great wide receiver. Be a great punt and kick returner, although hardly anybody returns kicks anymore. But let's do it with punts anyways and try to with kicks occasionally. And then you can get reps on dime. Sometimes you play so many passing offenses, nickel becomes your base. So if you put him in nickel, you might as well just put him in your base because that becomes base half the time. You play Kansas City, you play the Bills, you're going to be a nickel half the time or 75 or 80% of the time. So dime defenses, Hail Mary type defenses, and then let's see how you progress. That's how I would personally do it. That's just me. All right. Anything else? So nobody is saying, hey, Shedeur is going to make it so far anyways, past 5 years or start more than 3. Like there's not too many people out there thinking he will so far.
There is not a big group of texts coming in about Shedeur for Shedeur's behalf.
Is there any?
There is not.
How many texts are on the opposite side of this discussion? Just ballpark.
I'd say about 6 or 7 here.
All right. Well, it is Lincoln, Nebraska, so, it is what it is. But, hey, I'll be honest with you. He's not even guaranteed to be on the Browns roster this year. We kind of diatribed that earlier just a little bit. Now, I'd be surprised if he's not, but it ain't guaranteed. So we'll see what happens there as well. All right. Lexi Rodriguez wins the female Athlete of the Year for the University of Nebraska. Ridge Lovett wins the Male Athlete of the Year for the University of Nebraska. Going back to Lexi, she is currently in California training with the national volleyball team. All right. Lexi is set to make her Team A debut for the USA women's national team. She follows the footsteps. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to pronounce what's typed next in this tweet, so I'm not going to. Otherwise, I'm afraid I would butcher it. So I'm going to not try to pronounce it out of respect. But American libero and 2-time Olympic medalist Justine Wong Orantes, okay, who's also a legend as well. But Lexi has a bright future ahead of her, just like we kind of all anticipated going to be with the women's national team. All right, CharMar Brown. It's been reported by multiple sources is making his decision today. The North Dakota State running back took visits to Cal, Miami, Nebraska, Omaha, Creighton Prep kid, 5'11", 214. I mean, I can read the list of awards he won last year as a freshman at North Dakota State, but I want to talk about something else in the next 45 minutes because it's a long list. This is a guy that if you can bring him in and you can add him to your roster, you can add him to your squad, it's almost a no-brainer. It seems to be a 50-50 dead heat between Nebraska and Miami. I am unfamiliar with Miami's running back room and what that looks like. Do you have any idea what that looks like, Jake?
I've only looked at a little bit because of A.J. Allen that went down there, but I think he's since transferred out. So I don't know. And Damian Martinez was a big get them for Oregon State. He was drafted this past weekend, but I don't know a whole lot beyond that.
All right. Because let's be honest with NIL and the way college football is, NIL is probably going to play a huge part of this. But part of this as well is, hey, where can I go? Where can I play? Where can I earn play time? You look at their roster. All right, they have Jordan Lyle, who's a sophomore, Mark Fletcher, who's a junior, and Gerard Pringle, who's a freshman. Now, as I look at this moment in time, Jordan Lyle would be the favorite to start. There may be, as you look at Miami's room, it may be similar to Nebraska's room, where there's one or two guys right now that have experience, which makes you a little bit more comfortable with those individuals. The younger players got talent, just got to go out and prove themselves. Doesn't mean they can't do it, just haven't done it yet. But I feel like as I look at this and what I do know about Miami's running back room, it's a similar situation. There's about two backs that they trust. They're looking for a third guy. So if you're CharMar Brown, knowing what I just said, do you think he looks at the situation and is like, man, I like the one at Nebraska better. I like the one at Miami better. Or do you think, maybe it just comes down to the moolah at the end of the day?
Yeah, certainly could. You hope that you get maybe a hometown type of deal from him as well. Obviously, haven't played his high school ball in Omaha. But, I mean, if it's going to come down to weather or beach time, that sort of thing, Miami's definitely got a good lead on that one. So it hopefully it comes down to football reasons. We'll see. They've already, like you said, now they're kind of looking into it. Fletcher and Lyle, they did combine for 1,000 yards last year. Fletcher with 607, Lyle with 400, and they're kind of already that thunder and lightning combination. I think he's got a better chance at Nebraska to be the thunder of a thunder and lightning situation. Would have to beat out Quentin Ives for it, but so I as far as just looking up Miami's depth chart, not knowing too much about the situation, it looks like there would be a little bit more chance to play at Nebraska.
So I would agree with that. The hometown discount is something that is people like to throw out there. I'll never forget when the Redskins were trying to re-sign me. They threw those words out there, and I said, don't you ever say that again. Like, that is, no. Like, you're not looking at each other in the mirror and saying, hey, let's give each other the hometown discount to help out the Redskins. No, you're saying, hey, I'm busting my butt every day. Let's try to make as much money as we can while we can, just like any good business person. So you'd like to think the hometown discount. You'd like to think maybe he wants to come home, so to speak, back to Nebraska. I don't know how much that factors in. Maybe it does. Hopefully it does. Obviously, that would give us a little edge. I'm with Jake. I do think maybe the situation in Nebraska's room is a little bit more open if he wants to be a part of a 1-2 punch, so to speak. I do know they like Quentin Ives a lot. Obviously, Emmett Johnson's a projected starter. At the end of the day, it very well just might come down to moolah because to Jake's god-awful accurate point, they've got warm weather and beaches everything else. So maybe that kind of evens things out. And it just comes down to the end of the day. We'll see what happens on the NIL side of things. So how many, maybe you already know this, of the 32 first-round draft picks in the NFL draft, how many do you think came out of the SEC and Big Ten, like if you combine the two conferences? How many out of the 22, Jake?
I think I saw it was like 26. Is that?
It was 26.
Yeah, exact number. Yeah, I definitely saw
I've
that.
thrown
That's
two
not a
random
guess.
trivia questions at you today, and you've nailed them both. That's pretty impressive. Jake comes ready, my friends.
I've got some. If you want to do SEC draft stats, I got some stats for you.
No, not SEC. I'd prefer to do Big Ten.
Oh, no, I got plenty of SEC draft stats for you.
Sure, I'll take a swing at the SEC. They're my favorite conference. Everybody knows that.
NFL teams picked 79 players from the SEC over the 7 rounds of the NFL draft. That's 14 more than the SEC's previous record in a draft. So this was a new record. Texas and Oklahoma certainly helped that. Do you know how many years straight it's been since the SEC has led in picks in every NFL draft?
Do I get a buffer here? Like, you got to be within 5 years or something?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let me think back here. I'm going to go. I'm literally thinking who won the college football national championship each year, who they played. Like, there was a string where the SEC was, it starts around 07. Is where it starts, like with LSU, when they had 2 losses. They mollywhopped number 1 loss Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. It was around 07 when the SEC just kind of separated, at least when it came to winning national titles. I'll go 07. Is that 18 years?
It is 19 years now, but it was the 07 draft. So absolutely. 2006, the last time any other conference led, that was the ACC that year. So 19 straight drafts for the SEC.
Oh, I forgot 06. Florida beat Ohio State that year. Okay. Hey, I was pretty close there.
Yeah, right, you were perfect. That's the right number.
All right. Any others, or should I just go out on a win and call it a day?
I think you like that. I don't know if I have more trivia. I've got more. I've got plenty of the stats on the NFL draft. I love how they reflect on college football. For instance, this one's not going to shine brightly on Nebraska either, but 14 Ohio State players selected in the 2025 NFL draft. That's the most in the nation. So there's a nice Big Ten stat for you. Tied its school record, however, still falls short of Georgia's 2022 record year of 15 picks. 14 players selected at Ohio State this year. Nebraska has had 13 players selected in the last 9 drafts since the 2017 draft. So that tells you a little bit about the gap there.
Yeah, and remember, what was it, a 40-year period where we had at least one player drafted every year, and then obviously that went away a few years ago. So the NFL draft's not a perfect measurement of how good your teams are, but man, there sure is a strong correlation to amount of draft picks and amount of dubs that a college team tends to get. What was it, Rule? What did he say? Hey, the better players I have, the better coach I tend to be.
Yeah.
What an accurate statement that is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head to break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Chelsea plays Everton at 6:30 a.m., followed by Newcastle versus Ipswich Town at 9 a.m. On Sunday, Bournemouth plays Man United at 8 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Tottenham at 10:30 a.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with a commanding 79 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer, located at 8th and P.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms mainly this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny and windy, the high around 87. Tonight, decreasing clouds, an overnight low near 46. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a light breeze, an afternoon high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Putcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool.
robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Picture this. You're in the doghouse and flowers just won't cut it this time. Enter jewelry, the ultimate peace offering. It's a gesture that speaks volumes, showing her you're willing to go the extra mile to make things right. So next time you're in the doghouse, remember, diamonds are a guy's best friend too. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hour 2. Segment 2, Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. If you got nothing better to do with your life or you want great Husker sports coverage, check out CarrikerChronicles.com, The Ticket, theticketfm.com. All right, if we get CharMar Brown, how big of a deal is that? How's our running back room look, Jake? And if we don't, let's be honest, this offseason we've heard we don't need to do anything with the running back room. Then we've heard there's interest in another running back. So I think there's a learning process where they're trying to figure out who they can and cannot trust throughout spring ball. So my question is, how big of an impact maker can he be if he comes here? It's us in Miami, okay? And if he doesn't come, is this reason for concern? Because we clearly went after somebody for a reason that we don't get him. Does that concern you?
It's fascinating altogether because it looks from the outside like they would need some outside help and they didn't go and get it. So now this name pops up and I was wondering right from the beginning, are they interested because he's a local connection and you could maybe get him? Or are they interested because they need a running back? And we'll see today. I mean, if he signs with Nebraska, we don't have to think about that any further. If he signs with Miami, are they going to target somebody else, after going through spring and thinking we need another running back? But on the surface, it looks like it's a need, right? I mean, because you've got Emmett Johnson, but, you're always one play away from not having Emmett Johnson. And then beyond that, you don't have anything proven. Also, Emmett's a senior. So just kind of down the line for this room, running back, you've got some guys, I don't want to belittle anybody in the room, but they're not proven. They don't have stats. They don't come in. It's not necessarily Marlon Lucky type of hype. So I think they need him, and I think they maybe need him more than is implied Just again, a reminder, and it's shocking that it all happens. I still am shocked by this because they had the same running back coach, they had the same quarterback, or excuse me, the same head coach, all that 2 years ago when they lost their 2 starting running backs on the same day against Louisiana Tech. And now it just feels like, yeah, we got 2. We'll see what happens.
I agree with everything you said. I don't think it has anything to do with him being a local kid. I'm staring at a graphic, and I was debating whether to say this today, but you open the door to local kids. So, Iowa State 4-star commit Jet Tamala is the latest quarterback to receive an invite to the Elite 11 finals. I debated whether to even bring that up today. I don't think it has anything to do with the local kid. I think he has a chance to come in and compete for play time, legit serious play time. And I think he's a really good football player. And honestly, I think it's a no-brainer. All right. Let's see what some of the other things we got here. This was funny. This is posted by a Michigan account, of course. The unfortunate, part about Mason Graham, defensive tackle, first-round pick out of Michigan, going to the Browns is he now may lose his first ever game in the state of Ohio. I thought that was pretty funny. Nice little jab right there. I was surprised Donovan Edwards went undrafted. Okay, because here's what I saw. Y'all can say what you want about Donovan Edwards not being drafted, but he has more touchdown passes in the Big Ten championship game this decade than Michigan State and Ohio State have combined. These are all Michigan accounts, in case you're wondering. But the fact that he went undrafted, and I know he didn't start this past year, but anytime he got an opportunity, national title game, Ohio State games over the years, I felt like he always played really, really well. I have not watched enough Michigan football because I am clearly missing something as to why he didn't start and why he goes undrafted. I thought this was a pretty cool comparison. All right, Marvin Harrison Sr., Marvin Harrison Jr., their rookie year stats. All right, I'm just going to say senior and junior for the sake of shortening things up. Senior was targeted 118 times. Junior was targeted 116 times. Receptions, senior 64, junior 62. Receiving yards, 836 for senior, 885 for junior. Receiving touchdowns, 8 for both of them. Receiving yards per game, 52.3 for senior, 52.1 for junior. Fumbles, 1 on the year. Games missed, 0. The future is bright for Marvin Harrison Jr. My question is, do you think he can even be better than his dad? What do you think there, Jake?
Well, I'm a Cardinals fan, so I certainly hope so. I was hoping they'd add a little bit more on the wide receiver room for him to get him a solid number 2. And so, because that'll help down the line. We'll see what happens. Kyler Murray seems to be, they signed him to a longer extension here recently. So you kind of get the quarterback situation figured out for now. You never know what's next with Kyler. So, I think he's definitely got the opportunity to be that. Cardinals, by the way, needed to go defense, so I understand why they did that. But, he's definitely got the possibility. He came into not just the best wide receiver last year, but in several years, it felt like the highest, graded wide receiver going in, and nothing from his rookie year makes me think he's going to, not get better moving forward.
So I had this crazy idea last year. Remember the Bears a year ago had the number 1 pick. They had Justin Fields at the time. I was like, man, what if you keep Justin Fields, who was a former number 2 overall pick and number 1 recruit in the entire country, or number 2, it was either him or Trevor Lawrence. They were 1 and 2 coming out of high school. And I was like, man, I know like the talent is there. I know the production hasn't been there yet with Fields, but I was like, what if you trade back? And then you try to trade up. So you have like 2 picks in the first 10 picks, and you keep Fields, you try to get Marvin Harrison Jr., and you try to get Brock Bowers. I had this crazy theory that those were the 2 best pure football players in the draft. You put them around Justin Fields. Obviously, I talked about this like 2 Januaries ago, but I was like, man, what if you could pull this off? That would have been so awesome. By the way, not Mel Kiper, I forget who the other draft analyst was, the one who actually gave the Bengals like a B+. Kiper gave a C-. But that draft analyst gave the Cardinals an A- as far as their overall draft grade, the only team that he gave an A to.
I like to hear that.
So you gotta like that right there. All right, I've actually got scouting reports. Let me see. Is this coming out of high school? This is coming out of high school for Rob Gronkowski. I randomly came across these, and Aaron Hernandez as well. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But here's some of the June visits, all right, for Nebraska football. There's a lot of guys coming in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, almost 30 recruits coming in. Okay, of those guys, 4, 8, 12 are 4-star players. So you got C.J. Bernard, Brian Bonner, running back, Jontavius Wyman, cornerback, Jabari Brady, wide receiver. And then you got, that's June 6th. June 6th, there's 10 guys coming in. And there's 6 other guys on that list. You go to June 13th, Titan Davis, defensive lineman, Nazir Rankin, 4-star wide receiver, Ja'Cory Smith, 4-star wide receiver, Deacon Smith, 4-star offensive lineman. And then there's 6 more guys that are 3 stars coming in on June 13th. June 20th. All right, you got Ryan Mosley, 4-star athlete, Devin Jackson, 4-star DB, DeZephan Walker, 4-star running back, Camden Jensen, 4-star tight end, and then more players coming in on June 20th. So basically it's every week, June 6th, 13th, and 20th. There's going to be nearly 30 guys, and almost half of them are 4-star recruits. So Matt Rule, his staff, they are grinding on the recruiting trail. All right, are you curious at all to hear these high school analysis on Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez as prospects going into college?
Absolutely.
Rob Gronkowski, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Woodland Hills, 6'6", 232 pounds. Gronkowski has excellent size for a tight end and good hands. He could also play defensive end in college. Ooh, that would have been fun to watch. As nuts as he is, that would have been great. All right, Gronkowski posted 36 receptions for 648 yards and 7 touchdowns, and added 73 tackles and 6 sacks on defense his senior year of high school. When not playing football, he stays busy in athletics as he also excels at basketball and baseball, and he can throw 85 miles an hour. I did not know that. All right, Gronkowski is debating among Arizona, Clemson, Maryland, North Carolina, Ohio State, and Syracuse. Something tells me Arizona wins. All right. Aaron Hernandez, Bristol, Connecticut. I'm sorry, anytime I hear that, I just think WWE. That's where the headquarters are, for those who don't know. 6'4", 235. By the way, they were both 4 stars coming out of high school. Hernandez is a big and speedy tight end who is a force on both sides of the ball. He totaled 72 tackles, 42 for loss, and 12 sacks last season. But on offense, his numbers set state records with 67 receptions for 1,807 yards, 24 touchdowns. He earned All-State both ways and State Player of the Year honors as a junior. Though he dominates on the football field, he is also a standout basketball player as well. Hernandez selected Florida after considering Connecticut and Iowa. Connecticut? Was that for basketball? I don't know. I randomly came across those. I think it had a lot to do with, kind of draft prospects and all that. And I thought that was a little bit interesting. All right, man. You got any final thoughts before we head to break on this particular segment?
I'd just be worried about Gronk pitching to me, especially with 85-mile-an-hour fastball. That sounds a little bit scary. But I did want to say this. See if you can get this a little bit more trivia for you.
All right.
Because you mentioned Donovan Edwards. Michigan Donovan Edwards becomes the 4th EA college football cover athlete to go undrafted and the 2nd from a power conference school. Can you name the other?
I can see where this is going. Can I get like a time frame? So it hasn't happened for 10 years because we haven't had the game for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. It's somewhere between 2000 and 2014.
Even before that, let's go mid-90s to about 2014. Yeah.
So I'm at a disadvantage. I was not allowed to play video games growing up.
Okay.
So I'm at a huge disadvantage to this. When I became a freshman in college, dude, I drove my roommate nuts with just playing video games all hours of the day and night.
What system was it? What system did you finally get?
Oh, PS2.
Oh, no.
I hated Xbox.
Oh, yeah. PS2
hated
is
Xbox.
Great, yeah.
We went to the Alamo Bowl, was it Michigan or Michigan State? We got Xbox 360, which was a big deal at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I gave it away to somebody else as a Christmas present. Someone I really, really liked. So obviously, they thought it was pretty cool. I'll take a swing here. The one undrafted who was good in college, would have been going into the season, highly thought of, didn't get drafted after the season, mid-90s. Mid-90s?
Mid-90s.
Nebraska player?
Nebraska player.
Oh. I don't want to say a name now because names are popping into my head. I don't even want to put the names out there, though. It's like if we weren't in Lincoln, Nebraska, I'd be more comfortable saying it. All right. He may be arguably the greatest Husker of all time, but I'm just going to throw the name out there. Was it Tommy Frazier?
It was Tommy Frazier. Good job. You broke it down. You figured it out. Other names from non-power schools.
Tommy. You're one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. All right. Screw the guys who draft people. They don't know anything.
That's right. There you go. Good Mel Kiper impression, too. Jared Zabransky of Boise State and Brian Johnson of Utah, the others that were not cover athletes, but not drafted.
I forgot about the Utah guy. Jared Zabransky?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is as soon as you say it, I can envision the title and the game cover in my mind because I've still got them all. My son actually busted out the one that I was in 3 or 4 of them, but my senior year. He pulls it up. He's like, "Is that you?" I'm like, "Well, is he 6'6", 295 from Kennewick, Washington and look like Ivan Drago?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's me." All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Delicious, decadent, scrumptious, delightful. What other words can I use to describe something so tasty? How about heavenly? Chef Bob Haney created heavenly waffles to be incredibly fluffy, packed with protein, and loaded with a plethora of angelic toppings to elevate your experience beyond the typical waffle and syrup. Don't just take our word for it. You can experience heavenly waffles for yourself this Wednesday, April 30th from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. only at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios located at 1040 O Street in Lincoln.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
We're in Baton Rouge at the original Raising Cane's with the man that started it all.
Wait, are you the Yes Chef guy?
Todd started this place 28 years ago with one goal in mind: making the best chicken fingers in the world. We got their famous box combo, chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries, Texas toast slaw, and their world famous cane sauce. Could shed a tear right now.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Why wait for fall? Deer season is here now at Landmark Implement. Through June 2nd, get up to $3,000 off select John Deere compact utility tractors or Gator XUVs, or choose 0% APR financing on the hard-working 4044M, 2 Series, 3D, and 3E compact utility tractors or full-size Gator models. There's never been a better time to get behind the wheel of a Deere. Hurry into Landmark Implement today and take advantage of these offers and experience the Landmark difference.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final segment of the We Don't Have a Case of the Monday edition of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We've got an early look ahead to next year's way too early mock draft. You won't believe who's at number 1. Well, you probably can, but not at 16. I didn't see number 16 coming. I was surprised at 12, shocked at 16. You may have an idea of who's at 21 if you saw some things earlier today on social media. One final thought on Shadur Sanders and Dion. I heard a story from credible sources when I was at the NFL Combine. So this would have been 06. I was drafted 07. No, it would have been 07 because the Combine was just a month before the draft. And they said Dion flat out no-showed multiple pre-draft interviews. Anybody after the top 5 pick, he's like, I won't be there. I'm not showing up. I'm not saying Shadur did the same thing, but if he had the same type of attitude and approach, sometimes you got to have some self-awareness and realize self-confidence is great, but Shadur's not Dion. Dion got away. It was also a different time, but man, if Shadur did anything like that, he's not his dad. He's not going to get away with it. All right, let's see here. Number 1, way too early mock draft for next year. New Orleans Saints select Arch Manning. Remember, his grandpa, correct?
Yeah.
Archie Manning selected number 2 in the draft by the New Orleans Saints when he came out. All right. Let's see. Drew Aller. This doesn't bode well for Shadur if this happens. Drew Aller, number 2 overall, quarterback out of Penn State, to Cleveland. They just drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. So see how that goes. All right. We're not going to go each and every pick. I'm just going to do the ones that stand out here. Lenoris Sellers, if you get a chance to watch South Carolina, their quarterback is a dude. He is a dude. They got him going number 6 to the Las Vegas Raiders, which would thrill my son. He's been dying as a Raiders fan without a quarterback for way too long, at least in his words. Caleb Downs, number 10. In my opinion, this is the best defensive player in America right now as we head into the college football season, before everything unfolds. I don't want to say falling to 10, but I see him as a top 5 pick. But here, number 10, safety out of Ohio State, going to the New England Patriots. Number 12, Garrett Nussmeier. The dude can sling it. You want to talk about high ceiling, low floor, big arm, lack of ball security. That's this dude. Garrett Nussmeier going to the Los Angeles Rams. Real quick, Jake. Would you take Garrett Nussmeier with a top 15 pick in the draft? He's projected to go 12th here to the Rams.
Probably not at this point. Where they do this every year when I see the next year's draft, especially the group of quarterbacks. You know there's going to be 3 or 4. And this year particularly, it's kind of tough to pick them. Like Arch Manning, great. I understand the name there. But how many downs does he play in college football?
There's a lot of projection there.
Yeah. So, Garrett Nussmeier, like you said, he's got a big arm. We'll see if he can. We'll see what happens this year in Baton Rouge.
All right. It's the Cowboys, so I'll throw out, there's some Cowboy fans, probably 1 or 2 in the Midwest. Dallas Cowboys at number 14 are projected to select Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. That makes year $1 billion in a row that Ohio State is a first-round draft pick at wide receiver. Emeka Egbuka. That is an example of a dude who is a good football player. Most all-time receptions in the history of Ohio State, which tells you something. But I don't think most people had him going 19th. But God, people just love him as a human. And the human being element is evaluated, and it is important. And I guarantee he made money based on what people learned about him in the draft process as a human being. All right, I bring him up because he's Ohio State's wide receiver that was a first-round pick this year. Number 16. You know the answer because when I read it out loud, I about fell out of my chair during the break. At number 16, they have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Nico Iamaleava, quarterback out of UCLA. Okay. Top 16 talent? Oh, God, yes. Absolutely. No, without question, a top 16 talent. And maybe a year from now, we'll view him completely differently. Maybe more information will come out and we'll view what happened at Tennessee completely differently. Maybe he goes to UCLA and lights it up. Okay, this could all happen. But to project this right now, I know it's way too early NFL mock draft for next year, but to project this right now, Nico Iamaleava, I'm sorry. Red flags abound, average play everywhere. Give me something that's above average or what? Help me out here. Help me out here.
This is a lot of projection, I would have to say here. But I mean, that was the whole idea behind it. This whole thing is behind projection because what he showed on the field wasn't overwhelming, but he's still supposed to be and has long been supposed to be a future first-round draft pick.
All right, at number 21, the Houston Texans. And this would throw Nebraska fans for multiple reasons. We haven't had a first-round pick in too long, but it would mean that he played really well this season. And by God, do we need him to play well. All right, way too early NFL draft projections for next year. Number 21, the Houston Texans select Elijah Pritchett, offensive tackle, Nebraska. My reaction, this could absolutely happen. The physical talent, and ability, and ceiling that he has, I wouldn't doubt that this could happen one iota. My reaction is if this happens, that means a lot of things went right for Nebraska, and Nebraska fans are happy on multiple levels. What do you say, Jake?
Well, I know he could pull a tractor because I went to the Husker games. But, yeah, I mean, again, this is more projection. Hopefully you get there. This would mean wonderful things for Nebraska. And it kind of a little bit changes my shape on how I view it because I guess I'm just hoping he's a good college player here at Nebraska. But I have heard Matt Rule say basically this is the year. They're not expecting 2 years out of him. So he's very highly, expected to take and his talents to the NFL, and certainly in the first round, would it be hard to turn down that money?
They did the fastest man race Saturday. Elijah Judy won. I forget who all was in there. It was like Elijah Judy, Pritchett, and some other big guys. And Judy won it. How do I put Pritchett did not. And that's okay. There was a little bit of separation in there. For me, if this were to happen, first of all, it kind of got me excited about Elijah Judy. It looked pretty quick. We need a nose guard to step up.
Yeah.
He's the only senior in that defensive line room right now. And if this were to happen, I think that would be very exciting because I legit believe we have weapons around Dylan. I believe we have a good 1-2 punch right now. We'll see what happens with Brown in the portal today. I believe we have good interior offensive linemen. I believe we've got weapons that can be utilized at tight end. Now, I'm curious to see how it actually plays out. They may use a little bit of 12 personnel, just throwing that out there. My question marks, and I've said they're Sunday players, Gunnar Gatula, Elijah Pritchett. Then you hear about Tyler Canuck. You hear about some of these other guys who are walk-on stepping up this spring. If we can get first-round type of play out of our offensive tackles or just one of them, and I think Pritchett's the left tackle right now, the blind side. So I was eating cake in between breaks, but tomorrow I might start drinking some Kool-Aid in between breaks. That's what I'm saying. All right, Jake, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh, no, not too much. Just that I do think next year's draft class could be good for Nebraska. You look at guys that could be draft eligible along with Pritchett. Justin Evans, Heinrich Harburg, Deshaun Singleton, Sierra Wright, Deshaun McCullough, Dane Key, Rocco Spindler, Emmett Johnson, Marquise Watson-Trent. A few names I'm leaving out there. Buford. So could be a lot of picks next year.
Dude, give me the Kool-Aid. Give me the Kool-Aid. All right. Until Until next time, go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bows.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Chelsea plays Everton at 6:30 a.m., followed by Newcastle versus Ipswich Town at 9 a.m. On Sunday, Bournemouth plays Man United at 8 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Tottenham at 10:30 a.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with a commanding 79 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket,